time has come, brothers and sisters. We must use our ultimate commander to win back our local gang
that's
scores.
what I'm talking about. Yeah, bring it
Too
out.
long have our Merfolk brethren been overshadowed by those elves. And I say no longer. It's time for the grand reveal.
Bring it out. That's what I say. Yeah, bring it out. Let's see it.
Is that a ghost?
Whoa, what's wrong, guys?
What kind of fish are you?
Come on, you know me. Look, it's Mark Rosewater. What's up, Planeswalkers? How you doing? And welcome back to the Lost Caverns of Ixalan. I hope you're enjoying your time with this set. Today, we dive into our next ultimate brew, Hakbal of the Surging Soul. That's right, it's a Merfolk episode. The door's right there. Merfolks are an old magic type known for sneaky damage and fair practice of time magic. Hakbal of the Surging Soul is a Simic and 2 colorless 3/3 Merfolk scout that lets Merfolk you control explore at the beginning of combat. Okay, that's really good. Then, whenever Hakbal attacks, we put a land card from our hand onto the battlefield, and if we choose not to, we can draw a card. Honestly, way more tame compared to the first ability. But that first ability can juice our entire board and make sure we never miss a land drop, so honestly, pretty strong as far as commanders go for Merfolk. So our plan is to flood the board with fish, then make our fish unblockable, and use our counterspell package to make sure no one is having a good time. Not even ourselves. Of course, there is some combo thrown in there, but that is a surprise for later. Now before we get started, if you have a commander you want featured in a video, leave it in the comments or join our Discord. Starting the creature package off, we have Mist Cloak Herald because we can load counters on it and start applying pressure out at the gate. Deep Root Elite because he cares about Merfolk. Even our tokens, so this card can pump out an infinite amount of counters on the board for some good old mega lethal. Kiero's Follower for ramp. We also have some artifacts that get better with multiple activations. Lord of Atlantis is a Merfolk lord that gives us our island walk, and like a true group hug player, we'll be handing those out. Master of the Pearl Trident is here for the same reason, but remember, and say it with me, consistency lets you win more. Nikazil, definitely saying that wrong, too bad. Current Conductor is a very strong card in tandem with our commander, as we can now throw the lands we explored with his ability onto the battlefield, and this card gets even bigger when we have non-lands on top of our library when we explore. River Sneak is player removal with our combo in the deck, but it's also just a scary card on its own after we play just a few Merfolk. Silver Gill Adept is here for the extra card, and enchantments like Deep Root Waters care about casting Merfolk, so naturally we're going to play as many Merfolk as we can. Stony Brook Banneret is an excellent Merfolk for our deck, and it comes with good evasion for sneaky beats down the road. Thieving Skydiver is a good utility piece that takes away important artifacts. Maybe we'll even get lucky and steal a One Ring. Voldalin Hexcatcher is certainly a card. It has flash, it's a Merfolk lord, and then we can sack our Merfolks to counter non-creature spells, provided they can't pay the 1. Cold Eye Silky for the card draw, and we do have a few ways to put counters on it, and naturally it gets even better when it's bigger. For Milhel, the second is a card advantage in him, plus he makes an army with us if we have the extra mana for it. Jade Light Rangers, to add to all the exploring we're doing. Kopla, Warden of the Waves, is the ultimate Merfolk protector, as if our opponent even wants to look at our board, they better have 2 mana. Kumena, Tyrant of Orazca, as the end-all be-all best Merfolk that has ever been made, and yes, its raw power will probably win you the game, but with our infinite token combo, it will draw you your deck as well. Lol Mage Mentor is a very rude card, as we can start to counter spells by tapping 7 Merfolk, and when we do this, we make another Merfolk. With our token generation, this card will easily make you arch enemy, and no one will be able to do anything about it, because they won't be able to play spells. Merfolk Sovereign is an important piece to one of our combos, but it's also just a good way to get in for some massive damage. Miro Reachery allows this deck to have some really explosive turns by either letting us cast more Merfolk or tapping down important blockers. Realm Walker is another card advantage piece, since it lets us play Merfolk off the top of our library. Streambed Aquatex allows us to pass an island out to our opponent. Basically, this card might as well be the Grim Reaper, because if your opponent receives an island from this card, then it's probably game over for them. Civilian of the Sea and Sky is another powerhouse Merfolk that gets indestructible easily, draws cards, and even gives out some minor protection to our other Merfolk. Swift Warden is a flash speed Merfolk that can offer some protection to some of our important combo Merfolk that we have. Thada Adel Inquisitor is a red herring in this deck. We actually don't care about our opponent's artifacts, but players hate having their own cards stolen, so they usually use removal on it. Plus, if they don't remove Thada, then we can get artifacts, which is always cool. Topographic Tracker doubles the amount of exploring our Merfolks will be doing with our commander's ability. Forerunner of the Heralds is a Merfolk tutor that comes with a body, and the upside is that that body can grow with each Merfolk ETB. Herald of Secret Streams. You've probably seen this card before. Any +1/+1 counter deck will be playing it. It's just that good. With this card, we don't have to care about islands anymore, and our commander will have no problem giving the counters out that we need to make all our creatures unblockable. Merfolk Harbinger is another creature tutor. This time it has Invasion. Seafloor Oracle turns all our unblocked Merfolk into extra cards, which is a good start to winning any game. Deep Channel Mentor is another card that makes most of our board unblockable for some easy lethal. Titan of Lipjara is a huge card draw engine, especially when we plan on making a lot of tokens. Triskelion is a sneaky combo piece. We actively want this card in our graveyard, so of course our commander's Explorer ability makes that very easy as we can just mill it over. Wonder Wine Prophets is our best Merfolk, as this can easily lead to some infinite turn shenanigans. Just make sure when you play it you do have a way to protect it. For the spells, we have Abjure to counter a spell with only 1 mana and 1 token. Swan Song is another 1 mana counter spell, but this time there are some restrictions placed on the card, and the 2/2 bird we're not really worried about because most of our creatures will be huge. Wash Away to continue the 1 mana counter train. Of course, if you're countering something other than a commander or something from exile, it's going to be 3 mana, but trust me, with this card, you really only want to use it on commanders. Counter spells so we can be even more annoying, but if that wasn't enough, we also have Cyclonic Rift to make the weak-willed concede on the spot. Growth Sprout will help us get extra lands out of our hand. Heroic Intervention to protect our board. Chord of Calling is a sneaky way to get our infinite turns Merfolk out when all the players are tapped out. Just know that you won't be forgiven for pulling that move off, but boy does it feel awesome when you do. Rewind, because we can never have enough counter spells, and at this point you might be thinking, Moot, what about removal? Listen, you won't need removal if your opponents can't resolve spells. Gale's Redirection, because this is just a fun card for us and a nightmare for opponents. Oh, it can't be countered? Cool. Don't worry, I'm not countering it, I'm stealing it. Raise the Palisade is more mass bounce that won't hit our own creatures. And finally, Nexus of Fate, because what's a better backup plan than infinite turns? For the artifacts and enchantments, I'll be starting off with the ramp as always: Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, Simic Signet, Talisman of Curiosity, Midnight Clock, because of course, who doesn't love drawing 7 cards, Skyclave Relic, because Vandal Blast is a staple. For everything else, we have Agatha's Soul Cauldron as a combo piece, but on its own it hands out 1/1 counters and hates on graveyard. Ozolith the Shattered Spire, which is always good, especially when your commander potentially puts a +1 counter on every creature you control. Hardened Scales for the exact same reason. Cryptolith Right to make use of all of our creatures. Door Destinies to supercharge our Merfolk and start dealing Yu-Gi-Oh! Numbered damage. Deep Root Pilgrimage is a combo piece, but also a token maker on its own. Quest for Renewal makes our Cryptolith Right even better, and swinging into us becomes impossible. Deep Root Waters to make hexproof Merfolk tokens on Merfolk casts. Intruder Alarm is a combo piece that lets us make an infinite army. Just be careful, as this card also works for your opponents, so naturally if they can make use of it, it's going to be really good for them. Bident of Thasta is a card draw engine when half of our creatures are unblockable. Elven Course to make our creatures mana dorks and play Merfolks off the top of our library. Doubling Season works with a lot of the cards in our deck, not just the creatures, so this is an easy include to push our deck for that extra mile. For the mana base, any old Simic configuration of lands will do, but if you'd like to copy one, then feel free to use the one found in the deck list in the description of this video. My land pick for this deck is Karn's Bastion to add to the pile of counters your creatures have, and plus we have artifacts that come with counters. For the combo section, I'll explain one of the combos, but there are more in the deck, but I'll leave that for you to explore. For this combo, we'll need Wonder Wine Prophets, Deep Root Pilgrimage, and a way to make sure Wonder Wine Prophets can't be blocked, so for that I'm using Deep Channel Mentor. So to start this combo off, we'll need all the cards on the battlefield and Wonder Wine Prophets without Summoning Sickness. Then we'll swing with the Prophets, we'll make a Merfolk token with Hexproof thanks to Deep Root Pilgrimage, we then sack the token to the Prophets trigger and get an extra turn. We can now take infinite turns from here and kill the table with just the Wonder Wine Prophets if we choose. That's going to be it for today's deck list. Let me know how I did or tell me about your favorite fish in the comments below. And don't forget, this November 19th, I'm doing a giveaway stream to my subscribers in the US. If you'd like to support the channel, subscribe or join today, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.